Previously on Justice League 2017.
This motherfucker's dead!
Did you make a penis?
Dressed like a bat.
You're breathtaking!
What the fuck is that?
Do or do not. There is no try.
We begin part 2 in Star Labs, where exposition janitor from part 1 sees a red light and decides to walk towards it, like some sort of janitor moth.
Do not go into the light!
Smash cut to Themyscira, Amazon Island. Yeah. It's here where Wonder Woman was born / created, depending on who you believe, clay or person. Who's to say? We see a bunch of Amazonian / Themyscirian warriors, easy for me to say, led by Queen Hippolyta, heading into some sort of ruined temple. And inside the temple, there are also a crapload of other warriors pointing bows at what appears to be the Lament configuration from Hellraiser. I mean, look, it's the same fucking box, right? Just don't open it, ladies.
The box. You opened it. We came.
They're worried that something bad is happening to what they call the Mother Box, and that it has awoken, and I am getting some serious Avengers Tesseract vibes.
The Tesseract.
Suddenly, the box cracks open, and a magic portal opens from the sky. What, you were expecting something different? A solid 75% of films these days have some sort of portal or light show up in the sky. This is a boom tube. Think teleportation. It gets its catchy name from the boom sound it makes when one opens. It's a form of transportation used by the denizens of the planet Apocalypse, namely Darkseid and his followers. Darkseid, for those of you who aren't aware, is an all-powerful being who is the overlying main bad guy of the DC universe. Think Thanos in the MCU, Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars, Voldemort in the Harry Potter franchise, or Gordon Ramsay to any other person in the world who dares to cook anything.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Darkseid was originally intended to be the main bad guy in this film, before a decision was made to remove him entirely except for one small mention, and install Steppenwolf as the only big bad guy seen during the movie. For more details on the Zack Snyder Joss Whedon switcheroo, please see part 1. Anyway, down the aforementioned boom tube comes Steppenwolf, and wow, God is that awful CGI. I mean, I know I ripped Henry Cavill's CGI mouth in the last video, but whew, this is PS2 boss battle graphics at best. For comparison, see the new version of Steppenwolf from the latest trailer for Zack Snyder's updated Justice League. Night and day, this is fucking awful. This is Scorpion King level awful, the original Sonic awful, Cats awful. Are they cats? Are they people? Our PS2 rendered bad guy has come for the Mother Box. Apparently he's been in exile for an undisclosed amount of time and has been searching for it. He calls down some parademons, you remember, the alien bug monsters we saw Batman tackle earlier in the movie? The one that exploded? The parademons have frickin' lasers and can fly, while the Amazons have swords or bows and cannot fly. Doesn't really seem like a fair fight. And it's here that I have to make a pretty obvious criticism. If this box is so dangerous and whatnot, why have it on a pedestal in the middle of a room? Why not bury it somewhere? Why guard it with bows and arrows? Seems like it'd be pretty useless against somebody like Steppenwolf, doesn't it? And it is absolutely useless, as the arrows literally just bounce off him.
Hiya!
He quite easily takes the Mother Box and boom tubes away. The Amazons then decide to light their ancient warning fire to let Diana know that shit is going down.
Hope is kindled.
Also, I have to ask, where was this arrow skill earlier? She shot that arrow fucking miles. If she'd shot her arrow at Steppenwolf with the same power, this film would be over, roll credits, done. With the warning beacons of Gondor, with the Amazonian warning flame thingy now lit, Diana sees it on the news and is now aware of the going downness of the shit. We then get a news report making fun of a woman who claims her husband was abducted by aliens. Aliens, as everyone knows, are real in this movie series. We had a literal alien invasion just a few years before, and as discussed in my last video, Superman is a literal fucking alien. This part makes literally no sense. Aliens are well documented in this film series. I mean, they destroyed a city, There's a big guy in a blue suit and red cape flying around saving people. We see that the news report is also being watched by dead Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane and dead Superman's mother, Martha.
Why did you say that name?
They discuss Clark/Superman being dead, again, and how Martha has now lost her house. She also talks about how she doesn't read the news because there's so much bitterness in it. Just gonna leave these here. We cut from the ladies to our favourite alien toaster human hybrid, who is slowly uncovering his new powers and how he can now get Wi-Fi on his hands. Question: what if he gets one of those prove you're not a robot recapture things? I can barely log on to most sites and I'm 100-ish% human. He's roughly about 6% human currently by looking at him. Mostly toaster. He Googles himself, because who among us can honestly say that they've never Googled themselves? And then suddenly he's logged into the Bat computer and discovers that Bruce Wayne is Batman. How? He has no idea what he's doing. Did he just accidentally stumble across it, like when I accidentally stumbled across your mum's OnlyFans account? Also, why? Yeah, Batman is after the mother boxes, but why would Cyborg be interneting his way through to the Batcave? And yes, interneting is a word. Look it up. I'll wait. Did you look it up? See? Who's the idiot who can't make videos and has an annoying voice now? Oh, still me. Harsh but fair.
Well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
We see Batman working on his giant troop carrier, which will be important later, #spoilers, including analysing a really annoying sound that seems to drive the parademons crazy, and using the audio skills I've attained in the week and a half I've been editing videos, I've managed to isolate the sound for your viewing/listening pleasure.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Please subscribe for more comedy gold. A wild Wonder Woman suddenly appears from the tall grass and says how easy it was to bypass the high-tech security of Bruce's building. So now she's a technical whiz too? I mean, she's either a few thousand or a few hundred years old, right? Maybe, depending on what comic they borrow from. Patty Jenkins, director of the Wonder Woman solo movie, put her age at around 800, so maybe she learnt some hacking skills during that time. But still, really fast, and now a computer whiz. She's making Flash and Cyborg pretty much obsolete, eh?
Girls get it done.
Sorry, wrong universe. Watch The Boys though, it's great. So now it's time for one of my favourite things in a movie, an exposition dump. By the way, before we start, this exact shot was used in Zack Snyder's new Justice League trailer, only instead of Steppenwolf we got Baby Darkseid, aka Uxas. Anyway, Steppenwolf fights for a bit, we see him turn dudes into parademons for his army. He's been looking for the mother boxes for ages, and now he's come back to find them. It's here we get a bit more backstory on what exactly the mother boxes are, so now it's time for my favourite part of the video, Mother Box Trivia. Mother boxes basically fuck up the entire planet, much like the power gem from the MCU, only with more fire. They convert any planet into a similar sort of ecosystem to Steppenwolf's home planet, the planet ruled by Darkseid, remember him? Apocalypse. The planet exists between realities, is only accessible through boom tubes, covered entirely with one huge city, and has several giant flaming fire pits. It's also said that no one on Apocalypse evolves spiritually because there is no love. Sounds like my previous relationships. Where was I? Sorry, got distracted by my own bleak existence. Anyway, Amazonians fight alongside Atlanteans, that's where Aquaman is from, fight alongside humans, gods, and a Green fucking Lantern. What? We about to see a Green Lantern wreck some shit, people.
Beware my power, Green Lantern's light!
Despite that Green Lantern disappointing us all more than the 2011 film, Steppenwolf loses and runs away. Coward. The three mother boxes he left behind are split between the humans, the Atlanteans, and the Amazonians. The Amazonians put theirs on display in an open rock temple, as we've previously seen. The Atlanteans do the same, but their box is a bit more moist. #moistbox, get that trending. And what did the humans do? Did they put theirs on display? Perhaps behind a nice glass case? Wait, it's in a hole. Are they gonna do what I think they're gonna do? Oh my god. Oh my god. And now that we've been well and truly dumped on, at least in an expositional sense,
Don't be gross.
we cut to another recruitment scene, this time featuring our own lovable idiot, Barry Allen, aka The Flash. No, not that Flash. Stop it. He comes back to his secret lair, place, Flash Cave, and has a batarang thrown at him by Bruce Wayne, once again giving away his secret identity.
You want to know my secret identity?
But I'm forced to ask this question. Just how sure was Bruce that Barry was actually the Flash and could dodge this? Imagine if he wasn't the Flash and just got a face full of Batarang. Long story short, Barry agrees to join the team, league, and off they go. Let me say just how annoying Barry is here. He's just quippy, far too quippy. He talks about brunch and goes on a rant about it, and it's just not funny. It has nothing to the story, and I just don't get it. The hairstyles change between shots too, so these are obviously Whedon reshoots to add some more light-hearted stuff, but wow, it's just bad. And I know from first-hand experience that there is nothing worse than someone that tries too hard to be funny and fails majestically.
I am hilarious and you will quote everything I say.
We cut back to the Batcave, and Diana is interrupted in her Googling time by Victor, who has once again hacked the Batcave computer and arranges a meeting between himself and her. She leaves immediately to meet up with him, because I too always run headfirst into a meeting with any random person who slides into my DMs. And it's here that we once again get a ton of shots which seem to focus or linger on Diana's lower half. First it was thighs, now it's butt. I've touched on this already in part 1, but now I'm going to actually delve into my issues with it. I mean, I know the Second World War was a different time with different fashions, so that may be the reason why there isn't as much skin shown in a solo film, but even Batman vs Superman didn't focus on Diana's body as much as this film does. I don't want to pile on and say this is just a Joss Whedon thing, but Zack Snyder shot Batman vs Superman solo, and there weren't any of these kind of shots in that film. Patty Jenkins obviously focused more on the fact Diana could probably destroy you with one hand than the fact she had boobs. In this film, however, there are loads of shots that linger on specific areas of Diana's anatomy, and while I might be wrong, judging by the subtle differences in the actor's hair or features, these are predominantly reshoots. And then there's this. This was a Joss Whedon added scene that apparently Gal Gadot refused to do, so they had to use a body double. The fact that Whedon also did this pretty much exact same scene a few years earlier in Age of Ultron points to some of these more sexualized Wonder Woman scenes being down to his direction.
Sorry.
Don't turn green.
I mean, please don't misunderstand or get me wrong. Gal Gadot is an amazingly beautiful woman. But the contrast between her clothing in her solo movie, Batman vs Superman, and in this one is startling, distractingly so. I don't know whether it's trying to pander to teenage boys, pervy humans, or what, but it's just unnecessary and odd. Wonder Woman can be beautiful and kick-ass, without us having to zoom in on her lady parts at all times to remind us that she is in fact a woman. Anyway, sorry about that, rant over. She meets with Victor. She tells him that he has gifts and that they can help each other, giving the rah-rah recruitment speech about working on trusting people. Unfortunately, he flies off before she finishes.
That's rude.
From the streets to the sea now, as we see a boat sinking, Titanic style.
I'll never let go. I promise.
And then my absolute boy arrives to save the day. Let me just take a second here.
Drink it in, man.
Anyway, he saves the sailor dude and takes him to a bar, so he can get a drink. My boy is an alcoholic, but a high-functioning one. The sailor is rambling about monsters coming from the sky and going into the sea. Arthur notices both he and the sailor have luminous green blood on them. Is this a Predator crossover? Because sign me up for that.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
He then takes a bottle of booze and says that the sailor will pay for it. I mean, he did save his life. It seems like a fair trade to me. Plus, as we've already discussed, high-functioning alcoholic. He then sexily heads into the stormy, stormy sea and towards Atlantis, the home of his mother. And as we saw earlier, the Atlantean mother box is still on a fucking stone pillar in the middle of an underground stone temple, guarded by like 3 people. Shockingly, another boom tube opens and Steppenwolf arrives. He murders pretty much everyone to death except Mira, who is played by Amber Heard, but let's not go there right now. And then he has a brawl with Arthur, who shows up just in time. Also, side note, can Steppenwolf breathe underwater? I mean, I get that he's an alien and whatnot, but that's never really explained. I even went on Reddit to see if anyone had explained it, and aside from seeing some truly magical Steppenwolf Rule 34 stuff, I didn't find any concrete details on if he can or not. He goes toe to underwater toe with Aquaman for a bit before grabbing the second mother box and boom tubing away again. Coward. Aquaman then talks to Mira for a bit about how he needs something from her to help fight Steppenwolf, and we then cut to an abandoned power plant in some random Eastern European country. I assume this is the DC Comics equivalent of Chernobyl, but who knows.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Steppenwolf now has 2 of the 3 mother boxes and is getting ready to unleash his parademon army on the world.
Oh, I'm so scared.
We then see Cyborg's dad enter his apartment and see that it has been ransacked. Bad things tend to happen to this guy when he fucks with technology.
I don't know how much longer I can hold this.
He then, of course, gets kidnapped by Parademon. Barry and Bruce land back in Gotham, where we get the aforementioned Wonder Woman butt close-up for no apparent reason. Barry meets Diana. We've already seen that these two get a lot closer in future, unfortunately. But thankfully, they are interrupted by the bat signal, which of course is the universal signal to get Batman's attention in pretty much every Batman media out there, so they depart to see what's happening. We also see that Cyborg has returned to his apartment and seen that his father has been abducted, and he too notices the bat signal. This brings up another question of mine, hypothetical obviously. Say you're a bad guy. You know that the roof of Gotham Police Department has a massive nightlight that they use to contact Batman, and you know that he responds to this summons by going to that very rooftop. Why would you just not either hire snipers with rocket launchers to shoot the rooftop when he arrives? Or wire the roof with explosives, as most of the cops in Gotham are notoriously crooked and will probably just let you do it if you offer them enough money. Then just blow him up. Or
¿Por qué no las dos?
That's what I'd do, and for those of you that don't know me,
I'm not a smart man.
And even I thought of doing that, so God knows why his rogue gallery of literal criminal geniuses hasn't thought about it. Anyway, we're on the rooftop of the Gotham PD, where we see Jim Gordon, Batman's ally in the local police. The rooftop soon gets pretty crowded, as Wonder Woman and Flash join Batman and Gordon tells them about the people being abducted from Star Labs by the Parademons. Cyborg then also appears on the rooftop and tells them that his dad, the head of Star Labs, has been abducted as well. Cyborg and Batman then both come to the conclusion that the kidnapped people are being held under Gotham Harbor, and they all hurry over there to kick some Parademon booty. Okay everyone, are you ready for a massive fight? Because, whoa, I'm ready! Wait, what's that? We're out of time this week. Well, shit. Seriously though, thank you so much for watching. Come back next week for part 3. Please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all my videos. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.